weeks you're with us. Cruise Holidays of Vieira.
Pull up a deck chair and sit back, relax. It's time for your favorite cruise hour. You're on board Just Cruisin'. Whether you're dreaming of your first cruise or planning your next one, join Larry Jackson as he explores the magical world of cruising. To launch today's cruise, here's Larry Jackson.
Aloha, hey, como mai, and welcome aboard. I'm Larry Jackson, owner of Cruise Holidays of Vieira, and I'll be your cruise director for this week's edition of our YouTube magazine that's all about the magical world of travel and cruise. Happy New Year, or as they say in Hawaii, Hau'oli Makahikihou. We're very glad you could be with us today. This is the first of our recorded YouTube broadcast. Previously, Just Cruisin' was broadcast as an AM radio talk show on a local radio station here in Melbourne, Florida. But this week, we are moving to the YouTube venue and hoping to expand out our audience. We're going to be bringing you a new episode of Just Cruisin' every week, unless we're traveling. So we invite you to subscribe, if you haven't already, to the channel by hitting the red button right over there. There it is. And be sure and click on the little telephone bell that's there. And what that'll do is send you a notification when we broadcast a new episode of Just Cruisin'. So you get an email from us saying that there's a new show available for you to watch. Now, normally we would begin our Just Cruisin' show with a review of the news of the week from travel and the cruise world. But I have to be honest with you, this week, because of the holidays, there isn't any news. So what I thought we'd do, which might be fun today, first of all, I want to do a recap of all of the wave season promotions that are coming to you from the different cruise lines. So we'll just run through the different cruise lines and what they're offering you during this period that we call the wave season, which runs from roughly the beginning of January through middle of March. And if you haven't seen it before, it's called wave season because I think about 30% of all vacations are booked during that time frame. And so it causes a wave, and if you have a chart, it causes a wave in the chart that shows bookings are up during that time frame. For folks who live in Florida, I don't think it's that important because we don't have to plan as far ahead as our counterparts do up north, because we don't have to worry about making air arrangements for the most part, because we're mostly cruising to the Caribbean. So we'll review those promotions that the different cruise lines are offering. And then I thought we would do something else really fun. Let's talk about Disney cruises, and we haven't done that in quite a while. It's Disney Cruise Lines is a very unique experience. And so what I thought we'd do is just we'll run over some of the highlights and the uniqueness of the Disney experience, so to try to give you the flavor of that cruise line. All right, let's get started with what's going on with offers from the different cruise lines. And I'm going to start off with one of my favorites, which is American Queen Steamboat Company. Now, they've got some short-fused savings going on, and this is for sailings starting on February 22nd and running through March 25th. And what they're offering is as much as $900 off per person for different categories of cabins. And it's on different sailings, some of them from Vancouver and some of them from New Orleans. So that's American Queen Steamboat Company. That's what they're offering. Now, I want to tell you on all of the promotions that we're talking about today, you don't have to remember the dates or the exact figures and all that other sort of thing. That's why you have Cruise Holidays of Vieira. So what you want to do is to give us a call at 866-291-1331. That's our toll-free number. And just tell us what you'd like to do as far as your vacation is concerned. And then we'll look at all these different promotions and make sure you get the very best price and the right cruise for you. So that's Cruise Holidays of Vieira, 866-291-1331. The other thing that you can do is to go to our webpage, which is vieira.cruiseholidays.com. Vieira spelled V-I-E-R-A cruiseholidays.com. There's all kinds of our specials up there and promotions. And also you can click a link there that sends us an email, and that email will, in there, you can just tell us what you're looking for, and then we'll respond back to you with the best promotions or the best cruise for you. All right, Celebrity Cruise Line, I think, has probably the best promotion going on right now. What they're doing is they're giving you 2 free perks, plus an inside savings, savings of $100 on inside cabins, $200 on ocean view and balcony cabins. Now, the 2 perks, you get to choose 2 of one of the following 4 items. One is a classic beverage package, and that beverage package allows you to drink just about anything on the ship that costs roughly less than $8. It's wines by the glass, beers, cocktails. What I really like is they have the alternative coffees, the specialty coffees such as the lattes, the cappuccinos, and those kinds of things that we would never go to Starbucks for and pay $6.95 for. You can have those all included for your whole cruise, so it allows you to go out and experiment with all those different types of coffees. And it also gives you discounts on bottles of wine and other things. So that's one of the perks you can choose from, is the classic beverage package. Or you can choose to have prepaid gratuities. Now, the gratuities just went up to $14.50 per person per day. So on a 10-day cruise, you can see that's roughly $150 per person. Or you can choose $150 per person on board credit, which takes it to $300 for the cabin. The third thing that you can choose, if you would like, is a high-speed internet. The fourth thing is a high-speed internet package. So to recap, you get not only savings of $200 or $300 for Aqua Class and Concierge cabins, you also get 2 of their perks, and that's the choice of a classic beverage package, prepaid gratuities, $150 onboard credit, or unlimited internet package. That's Celebrity Cruise Lines. Now, this promotion is going to be going on through January 31st, and it's for any cruise departing after February 1st, and all of the cruises that are released through April of 2019. Okay, so that's what's going on with Celebrity. Royal Caribbean has just announced their offering for the wave season, and this one is going to be going on through January 31st, and they're offering you 30% off of all passengers. That's a really good deal if you haven't looked at the pricing on this. They're also offering you a onboard credit for the balcony cabins. It's $175, and for the inside and ocean view cabins, it's $75. So that's a really good offer that the Royal Caribbean has going on right now. So we invite you to take advantage of that. Azamara Cruise Lines, which is the cruise line that we've been talking about. We just cruised with them up over to Cuba. It's a fantastic cruise line. They have the Renaissance ships, 640 passengers. And what they are offering right now, and this is for bookings made through February 28th, you will get 50% off of the second guest, and you get free Wi-Fi. And that's a very, very good offer, because Azamara is inclusive from the standpoint that all your alcohol is included in the cruise. So wine, spirits, pretty much everything, bottled water, all those things are available for you. And that's Azamara Cruise Lines, half off the second guest plus free Wi-Fi. In case you're just joining us, welcome aboard Just Cruisin. We're going to be here every week with you on YouTube. And what we're doing this week, in lieu of reviewing the news of the week from travel, is that we're recapping the promotions that the different cruise lines are offering. And we started off with American Queen Steamboat Company, and we were just talking about Royal Caribbean. Holland America Lines is offering a view and veranda sale. And what this means is they're giving stateroom upgrades, so you can book an ocean view and get a balcony, book an inside, get an ocean view, that sort of thing. They're also giving you onboard credits. Now, I hesitate to tell you what the different onboard credits are because it varies by the type of stateroom. So, and I know you're not going to remember all of this, but basically what they're offering is roughly $100 per cabin onboard credit. And the big thing here for Holland America Lines is the fact that you get a free upgrade. And so that promotion is going on through March 15th for bookings through March 15th, Holland America Lines. Norwegian Cruise Lines, they are offering you the ability to choose from 5 of their perks. Now, the number of choices you get depends on what type of stateroom you book. Now, this offer period is very generous. It goes through March 31st for all sailings between January of 2018 and April of 2018. Okay, so it's kind of short fuse as far as when you can take the cruises, but here's how it's going to work. If you have an inside category, you can pick one of the perks. If you have an ocean view, balcony, or a mini suite, you get to pick 2 of the perks. And if you have a suite or a cabin in the Haven, which is their very upscale portion of the ship, it's really neat. It has its own dining room, its own bar, its own swimming pool. The Haven is a really special part of the Norwegian Cruise Line ships. But if you can receive all 5 of these perks if you book in the Haven. Okay, here are the perks. The ultimate beverage package, which again lets you drink anything on the ship. Specialty dining package, and I believe that gives you dining, and it depends on the length of the cruise, how many free nights of dining you get in the alternative dining restaurants. 250 minutes of internet package, a $50 U.S. per port shore excursion credit, or the 3rd and 4th guest sail free. Okay, so you get to choose from those 5 perks, either one if you book it inside, 2 of those things if you book an ocean view, balcony, or mini suite, all 5 of them if you book a suite or you go in the Haven. Now, in addition to that, because you book with Cruise Holidays of Viera, and we are members of the Travel Leaders Network, you, in addition to choosing from the 5 perks, you also get to choose, you also get an onboard credit. And for 7-night sailings, you get $50 in a balcony and $75 in a mini suite. And that's exclusively to Travel Leaders Network folks, which is us at Cruise Holidays of Viera. So hopefully you'll give us a call at 866-291-1331 to book your next cruise. Oceana Cruises has what they call the O-Life offer that's going on. Now, in addition to the ability to have your airfare included on Oceana Cruises, you can pick one of the following perks. You can get either free shore excursions, or you can get the free house beverage package, or you can get a shipboard credit, which will vary. The amount of shipboard credit will vary based upon the type of cabin you get. Also, in addition to those 3 choices, you get free unlimited internet. And once again, an exclusive offer if you book through us at Cruise Holidays of Viera, because this is a exclusive offer from Travel Leaders. We will also provide free gratuities for you, or a special shore excursion and cocktail party through our Distinctive Voyages program. So that's exclusively offered through Cruise Holidays of Viera. Princess Cruises is offering an additional onboard credit for the inside ocean view cabins on a 7-day cruise. It's $150 per cabin. For a balcony, it's $300. They are also giving you 1 night of free specialty dining. That's Princess Cruises, and this is what they are offering. And oh, by the way, they also have reduced their deposits to $100 per guest. So that's a very generous offer coming from Princess. The offer goes through February 14th. Again, don't worry about how long these offers last. Just give us a call right away at Cruise Holidays of Viera to get your vacation planned. From the River Cruise and Ocean Cruise Company of Viking, they are offering some specials. Their promotion goes through January 31st of 2018. On one of their cruises, which is the Ocean Cruise, it's called Into the Midnight Sun. It goes from Bergen to London. They're offering up to $1,000 off of air per person. For their West Indies Explorer, which is a San Juan to San Juan cruise on their ocean vessels. Now remember, Viking has the 900-passenger ocean cruises that don't have casinos but do include excursions and beer and wine at meals with the cruise. For their West Indies Explorer, they are offering free air. And for their river cruises, for the Rhine Getaway, for the waterways of the Tsars, that's the Russian cruises, river cruises up to St. Petersburg and Moscow, and the Romantic Danube, and those three different Viking river cruises for 2018, they are offering you free air. All right, so that's Viking Cruises offers, both their river and their ocean cruises. And finally, we have Seabourn. And if you book by March 13th, they are giving you a 3-veranda suite category upgrade. For the regular veranda or ocean view, they're giving you a 1-cabin upgrade. And they're giving you up to a $500 per suite shipboard credit or a $500 air credit, and a 50% deposit waiver. So that's Seabourn. So you can see just about all of our cruise lines have something going on during the month of January as far as promotions are concerned. And it's really a great time to book your cruise and to plan your vacation. One of the things we always suggest at Cruise Holidays of Vieira is that you book your cruises early for several reasons. One, it's generally the lowest prices and the best promotions that we see all year long. 2, you have the best cabin availability, especially if you're traveling with 3 or more folks in a cabin. What most people don't realize is not all of the cabins on our ships hold more than 2 people. There's only a certain amount of them that do, and they're only in certain categories. And so what happens is when families are traveling, especially if you're thinking about going to the Caribbean this summer, those cabins that hold more than 2 folks in them go first, and then they go up in category. So you wind up having to book a higher category in order to get 3 people or 4 people in the cabin. So it's just another reason to think about and to consider to go ahead and book your cruise as soon as you can. We have to be aware that a lot of the deposits are non-refundable now, and you get a discount because they're non-refundable. However, if you take out travel insurance at the time you make your deposit, you can recoup some of that money. Or most of the fares also come with a refundable deposit fare, but it's going to be higher. So it depends on how you want to save money. Again, the best way to figure all of this out without going crazy or spending too much time is to contact us at Cruise Holidays of Vieira. And we also invite you to go to our webpage at vieira.cruiseholidays.com. There's a lot of information not only about our specials and our promotions, but there's also information about the different cruise lines promotions. And speaking of Cruise Holidays of Vieira's promotions, we just were notified this week by Celebrity Cruise Lines that the Celebrity Edge, that's their brand new ship that's coming out in December of 2018, the inaugural sail date has been moved up a week. It is now going to be on December 9th, 2018 instead of December 16th. We are able to move our group to the new date, which means that we can still offer you the same pricing that we had originally on the December 16th, even though it's going to be a week earlier. The details of the fares and the ship with videos of the ship are available on our website at vieira.cruiseholidays.com. So just go there and you can click the button that says learn more about it. Says Edge Inaugural on our box there, and it'll tell you all about the cruise we're going to be planning. We've already got 15 cabins on board the ship for our inaugural, and we put together a package that features bus transportation, gratuities, and travel guard insurance for the cruise. So if you'd like to join us, we'd sure like to have you come aboard with us, and just go to the website, click on and see all the information, and you can actually register for the cruise right there on our website. You can watch the videos about this magnificent ship and what a great innovation, all the great innovations that are going to be happening on the ship. All right, let's talk about Disney Cruise Lines. Whenever I mention Disney to somebody, they always roll their eyes and say, oh boy, they're really expensive. And They are, but it is worth it. It's the old adage, you get what you pay for, and you truly do with Disney. In October of this year of 2017, on the 17th of October 2017, Condé Nast magazine. Now, a lot of you might know about this magazine. It's a very upscale travel magazine, and every year they do a survey of their readers, and they create what they call their gold list, which is the best hotels, the best islands, the best airlines, and the best cruise lines in the world. And these are very upscale travelers, and for the second year in a row, the number one cruise ship in the world, and this includes all of the cruise ships. This includes Crystal and Seabourn and Sea Dream and all those luxury cruise lines you've heard about. The number one ship in the world was Disney Dream. And I think that says a lot about the quality of the Disney product, because Disney brings all of the things that you expect from them, the things that you see, the perfection you see at Disney World, that you see in their movies at Disneyland. They have brought all of that to the cruise line. Well, let's start off with a little history about the Disney cruise lines. The cruise line started in 1996, but the Disney was cruising well before then. In 1985, they teamed up with a company called Premier Cruise Lines, which a lot of you here in Central Florida might recall as the Big Red Boat. And what Disney did was they partnered with Premier, and they had actually Disney characters on board the ship, Disney activities, so you could meet with Mickey, and they had all kinds of things going on. Then in 1993, I'm not quite sure why this happened, but and I wasn't around in that time, but Premier ended their agreement with Disney to have characters on board, and instead switched to Warner Brothers. So they got Daffy Duck and those kinds of folks on board. And Disney then started saying, well, you know what, we kind of like the cruise business because it pairs well with being able to do resort stays at Disney World and then going out on a cruise ship. So that works out really good. So they started negotiating with Carnival and Royal Caribbean, but they, for some reason, it didn't gel and they never got an agreement. So Disney said in 1994, you know what, I think we'll start our own cruise lines. And they did. And they commissioned two ships, which eventually became the Magic and the Disney Wonder. And they started sailing actually in 1996. Then in 2007, Disney announced that they were going to build two new ships. The Disney Dream, which set sail in January of 2011, and the Disney Fantasy at 2012. Now, what's interesting about the Disney Cruise Line is that for most of the year, all four of their ships, the Magic, the Wonder, the Dream, and the Fantasy, are located here at Port Canaveral. And just to tell you a little bit about the ships, the Magic and the Wonder are both 2,400 passenger ships. They're the smaller of the Disney fleet. And the Disney Dream and the Fantasy are both 4,000 passenger ships. The Dream does the 3 and the 4 day cruises to the Bahamas. The Disney Fantasy does the 7 day cruises from Port Canaveral to the Western and Eastern Caribbean destinations. I'm going to talk most today about the Disney Dream because that's the one I've been on. Also, I've been on it several times. I am one of its biggest fans, by the way, so I have to tell you that right up front. Before we leave the history of Disney, Disney has also announced just this year that they're going to build 3 new ships. Each of them will be 1,250 staterooms, so we're going to have about 2,500 to 3,000 passengers. That means they're going to be somewhere in between the Wonder and the Magic and the Dream and the Fantasy's capacity, so they'll be not quite as big as the Dream and the Fantasy. They will be premiering in 2021, 22, and 23, and we don't know the names at this point. So, that's where the state of the Disney Cruise Lines is now. As I mentioned before, all 4 ships are for the most part stationed here. Now they will leave us at certain times during the year. I believe the Magic this year is going to go to Alaska. The Wonder is going to do Europe, and so they'll leave us and they'll come back. Sometimes they'll spend some time in Miami, but for the majority of the year they're here with us at Port Canaveral. Port Canaveral built in conjunction with Disney, its own terminal here at Port Canaveral, and it is beautiful. It's, as you would expect from Disney, it's state of the art. So let's talk a little bit about what it's like to take a Disney cruise. Excuse me. Well, it all starts, we have the 3 and the 4 day cruises and on the Disney Dream, and that's the ones I'm going to tell you about. The other variations you can see for yourself on the webpage. The 3 day cruises go to Nassau and Disney's private island, which is called Castaway Cay or Castaway Key. The difference between the 3 and the 4 day is that the 4 day has a day at sea, whereas the 3 day does not. And I much prefer the 4 day because that gives you the whole day to enjoy this magnificent ship, the Disney Dream. So it all begins right after you do your booking and you pay your final. One of the things that you do with Disney is that you register, which we do with all of our cruise lines. They have a very unique registration program. It's Goofy. It's a little cartoon video that walks you through the whole process and tells you what to do with Goofy doing being the passenger. So that's really a lot of fun. Disney does something. I'm going to keep saying Disney does something unique. I'm going to be repeating myself several times. The first thing that you're going to notice is that you get an embarkation time. And what they do is they tell you, okay, if you would like, and you get, depending on how early you book and how early you register, you get to choose a time to go to the pier. And it usually starts around 11 a.m. and goes on through. I prefer around 11:30 or noon because that makes sure that the ship is ready by the time you're ready to board. And the reason Disney does this is so that they don't have long lines and crowds out at their terminal. Again, very civilized. So you get your embarkation time, you press on, you go out, you go to your own terminal, the Disney terminal, you drop off your luggage just like you do with our other cruise lines, and then you go through security, the magnet, the metal detector and all that stuff. You go up the escalator, and there you're in this beautiful embarkation lounge. It's just beautifully decorated, and there is either Pluto or Goofy or Minnie and Mickey greeting you. And I want to tell you, if you've got kids with you, the electricity is unbelievable, and the anticipation when they see Mickey and Minnie standing there in their cruise outfits, or they see Pluto in his sailor suit. It's just an incredible experience. So anyway, then you go to the counter, you check in, you get your set sail cards. Then you go aboard the ship with everybody welcoming you with big smiles and everybody smiling. It's just a wonderful experience. Their embarkation is just wonderful. Then the big surprise. You walk in and you walk onto the ship, you show your card, and you walk out into the atrium, into this big 3-story atrium in the middle of the ship, and there is a lady there saying, "And now, welcome on board the Jackson family," and everybody applauds. And there you are, you're being introduced on board the Disney ship. And that's only just the beginning of all that's going to be magical and wonderful about the Disney Dream. Some unique things. First of all, they have generally the Enchanted Garden. It will be open for lunch on the embarkation day. Now, it used to be a buffet, but now it has its own menu, so you can go there and have a sit-down lunch, have people wait on you, or you can go up to one of probably the greatest buffets, I think, anywhere in the ocean, and that's Disney Dreams Buffet up on the 12th deck. What's unique about their buffet? Every day at lunch, they have crab claws and lamb little tenderloins every day. It's just wonderful, but the food is just magnificent. So anyway, then you go get settled into your cabin. The cabins on Disney Cruise Lines are very unique. Some of them, they're all designed for families. Some of them will actually sleep 5 folks, so that and it has a Murphy bed. It's one of those beds that folds into the wall and then comes back down. They have 2 bathrooms in almost all the staterooms. One bathroom will have a toilet and a sink. The other one will have a sink and a bathtub. And in some of the family staterooms, it's a round bathtub in the middle. Now, moms love having a bathtub because that's just, especially for young kids, it's a lot easier than the shower. So again, that's something that Disney has done. You'll notice on your counter when you check into your cabin are some like walkie-talkie little sets there, and these are complimentary with every stateroom, and they allow you to keep track of your family and for people to communicate with each other. Where are you on the ship? What are you doing? And that sort of thing. And they even work on Castaway Cay on the island. The thing that got me, and I was really a dummy the first time I got on the Disney Dream, there's a little card there, and it says your dining, this is your dining, and it has letters on it, and the letters are like E, R, and things like that. And I go, what is this? What does this stand for? Well, Disney's dining program is that the way that works is that every night you go to a different restaurant. You have the same, you have a table assignment, you have the same waiters and assistant waiters, and they are in costume for the different dining room that you are in. And the 3 dining rooms that you get to go to are Enchanted Garden, which, by the way, starts out with an afternoon, and as the meal goes along, it gets darker and darker and darker into the evening, and it's meant to be a replica of Cinderella's, where she went to the palace, and so it becomes darker as you go along. Then there is the Royal dining room, and this is where all the princesses are, and your dining staff comes to you, and they look like they just like they're valets from a palace, and that's the in the royal court. So you have the Enchanted Garden, you have the Royal Palace, and then you have the Animator's Palette. And Animator's Palette is really neat because there's screens, and Crush from Finding Nemo comes out and talks to the kids. I mean, really talks to the kids. He asks them questions, the kids answer, and he responds back again. So that's Animator's Palette. And what's going to happen is every night you're going to go to a different one of those restaurants with your same dining room staff. And that's what's on that little card of the letters that tell you where your dining is going to be. It's on your key card. So you check in, you get your dining, and then most folks, if you have children, are going to be heading off to the Oceaneers area, and this is an exclusive area on board the Dream. It's just for children. It's now on Embarkation Day is the only day it's open and adults can visit it, and that's done for security reasons. The children are issued the Magic Band, the Disney Magic Band, and it allows them to be access into the room. It also allows people to know where they're at, and so everything is done for your children's protection. Inside the Oceaneering area, it is fabulous. They've got a mock-up of the Star Wars Command Spaceship Center. They've got all kinds of activities for kids of all ages. What is that? Up until, I've got it here somewhere, the age groups on the different levels of the different children's programs. But you get to go in there and visit. Now, the adults never want to leave, but you get to go in there. Then, after you do all of that, and you can go back to your stateroom, then it's time for the sail-away party. And what a party. I mean, everybody's there. All of the characters, Mickey and Minnie, they have dancing, they have bands, they have some of the most enthusiastic counselors and folks on board there. It is just phenomenal. You just, oh man, the excitement, the thrill, you're all set to go. Then it's time for the boat to pull away from your pier. Also in here you have a lifeboat drill, of course, and that happens before you do the sail away. But when the boat pulls away, when the Disney Dream pulls away from the pier, they play their ship's horn. And they have a ship's horn like no other. It plays Disney tunes. And the one that most of the captains choose when they pull away is When You Wish Upon a Star. And so that is so cool. And off you go on your magic adventure with Disney on the Disney Dream. Well, if you're just joining us, welcome aboard Just Cruisin' here on YouTube. This is our first episode that's being produced just for YouTube. We hope you come back and see us each week where we plan to have new episodes for you. If you subscribe with the button over there, then you'll be able to get notified if you click the little telephone bell there of new episodes when they come out. So we hopefully will be seeing you in coming weeks. Our show is being brought to you by Cruise Holidays of Viera. We are a boutique vacation planning store located in the Suntree area of Melbourne, Florida, but accessible to you 24/7 via our webpage, viera.cruiseholidays.com. And it's got all kinds of wonderful things, information there. If you go up there, there's a blue button that says exclusive offers. If you click that, there's another button that says travel magazines. We've got some beautiful, gorgeous magazines on there for you to look at. So we invite you to go to our website, and that lets you see not only our offers, but it shows you different ways to contact us so that we can help you to plan your next vacation. And our vacation planning services are available to you at no additional cost on what you would pay if you went directly with the cruise lines. This week we were talking about the Disney Dream, and we're talking about all the unique things on board the Disney Dream. And you know what? Talking about the unique things, I know we're going to forget a lot of this, so I've got my notes here, and I'm trying to remember as many of the things because there are so many different unique things. One of the best things about the Disney Dream is the aqueduct. And the aqueduct is a water coaster. I don't know any other way to put it. It's a tube that goes around the outside of the ship. At one point, it actually goes out over the side of the edge of the ship. And you sit on a raft, and it has water flowing in it. And you go around in your little raft. It holds two people. And it is so much fun. I tell people it's the fastest 46 seconds you'll ever experience, but it is wonderful. And it's free. You just have to climb some stairs to get to your raft. Typical Disney, when you come back with your raft, you get off, and they have it goes right into like a conveyor belt that takes it back up to the deck where you embark on the aqueduct. So, wow, that is so much fun. A hint, be sure you wear a bathing suit because you get very wet when you take this ride. So that's the aqueduct, free for you on the Disney Dream. All right, now we need to talk about Disney's entertainment. It is unbelievable. This is Broadway style stage shows, not like you see on any other cruise lines. They do one show called the Mickeys, and it's kind of a reenactment of the Oscars, complete with a red carpet where when the children walk up in their formal wear or their gowns or things, they interview them just like they were stars coming down the red carpet at the Oscars, and then they broadcast that up into the theater. But the Mickeys, what they do is they highlight all of the music from the different movies, Disney movies, and it is so much fun. The other one is called the Disney's Believe stage show. At the end of this show, when it was over, this is the story about a workaholic father and how he disconnects with his daughter and how they reconnect with Disney characters, including the genie from Aladdin, and who goes all over the stage. You have to see it to believe it. But the night I was on the Disney Dream, at the end of the show, there was a curtain call for all of the staff, and I counted 40 different folks standing on that stage. So it is an incredible production. You have the Disney Believe, you have the Mickeys on board the Disney Dream. Now the other ships have different productions. The play Rapunzel is on one of them. There's a Frozen on another of the ships. Again, I'm not going to go through all the different details of the different ships, but you can see that. Also for entertainment, you'll have first run Disney movies. They have a whole theater just for movies. Then they show 3D movies in the regular theater, the show theater, including popcorn for sale. It's just wonderful. You You just can't. You have all the Disney movies are available on your television in your cabin. So it's really fantastic. I do want to tell you about Castaway Cay, Disney's private island. It's unique from a lot of different standpoints. One is that they actually dock at the private island instead of tendering in. They built a pier there. It has an adults-only beach that if you're tired of children or you don't have any with you and you want it has its own barbecue area for the adults and its own bar. For families, there are 4 or 5 family beaches. There are aqua parks. There are water cannons. There's so many things to do at Castaway Cay. Plus, the characters are roaming around. You can have your picture made with all the different characters. They tell me that it's a lot easier to the characters on board the ship. You get a schedule every day of where the characters are going to be and what times. And they tell me it's a lot less waiting to have your picture made with the characters on board the ship than at the parks. I haven't had that much experience with the parks, having my picture made with the characters, but that's what they tell me about the Disney Dream. What else can I tell you? On Castaway Cay, we said the adults area, and then they bring a buffet. It's one of the best buffets I've ever seen at any of the private islands on Castaway Cay. And some of the other unique features of the Disney Cruise Line. One of the things that they have is Mickey's detective service, and you get a card. You go and sign up and you get a card, and then you go around to different paintings on the ship, and when you press a button, the painting actually turns into a video to give you clues to solve a mystery while you're on board the ship with the Disney with the Mickey Mouse Detective Agency. Let's see, we talked about the Wave Fund, and we talked about the Ocean Air Club. Now for adults, first of all, you have your own pool. You really have your own deck with the pool on it. At night, there's a whole area of the ship which features lounges and bars for adults only. That's one is the Pink Lounge, which is done in all champagne theme. There's a sports bar, all kinds of things for adults only. There is two alternative restaurants on board the Disney Dream, Paulo's and Remy. Remy is, you have to wear a coat there. That's not one of my favorites. Paulo's, what a meal. It's Italian. You can have anything you want to 8-9 courses, however much you want. Paulo's is fantastic. I can tell you a great story. We went up there with 3 or 4 other couples. We didn't have any children aboard this cruise. And we finished dinner, and it was getting late, and they said, well, it's time for dessert. And we said, look, the show is starting. They said, no problem. Go see the show. When you come back, we'll have your table waiting for you here, and you can have coffee and dessert. I mean, that's just the little touches that Disney does. It's just, it's not only all of its wonderful things. The ships are magnificent. They're all done in an Art Deco, and the reason for that is that Walt Disney and his brother Roy used to have to travel to Europe a lot because they were always broke. They were looking for money and raising capital in England, and so they spent a lot of time on ships, and they really fell in love with the cruise ships or the ocean liners, and that's what the Disney staff was trying to recreate when they did the Disney Dream. Pirate night, one night while you're on the ship, you're going to have a pirate night. It's going to feature a pirate dinner with things like turkey legs, so you can walk around with your turkey leg and go arg. And then it's got a beautiful show up on the show deck, and with all the pirates fighting all over the ship. And then after the show, the dinner, they do a fireworks display right off the ship. They shoot fireworks right off the ship. It's just magnificent. Finally, when you get ready to disembark, and Disney's the only people in the world that do this, you go to breakfast at the last dining room that you were at with your staff, and whenever you want to, you just go to breakfast. There's no set time, and then when you're finished with breakfast, the staff says, see you real soon. You get up, you leave. You walk down to the baggage area, and your baggage is there by stateroom, not by luggage tag number with a big pile in the middle with everybody scuffling around waiting for their number to be called. Very civilized. You walk down, they say, what is your cabin number? Someone escorts you over. You take your luggage, you walk through customs, and off you go to the parking lot. The last time we did this, I think it was 8 minutes from the time we left the breakfast until we were standing at our car in the parking lot. Disney Cruise Lines. I cannot recommend it enough to you. It is it will make a family experience that your entire family will remember for a lifetime. I will absolutely guarantee you that. I think one of the things that we're finding out with our next generation of millennials is they seem to be more interested in experiences rather than things. And if you want to give your family an experience that everybody is going to truly enjoy, I don't care how old or how young you are, you're going to enjoy the Disney dream. If you'd like us to help you with that, we would be more than happy to do that. We are Cruise Holidays of Viera. Our phone number is 869-291-1331. Well, I think that's pretty much going to do it for us this week on Just Cruisin'. We've had a great time, and I hope you've enjoyed our inaugural run at a YouTube broadcast. We'll be back next week with another broadcast of Just Cruisin', and we hope we'll see you then. Until we do see you again, keep on cruising. Jackson of Just Cruisin'. Hope you're enjoying Just Cruisin' here on YouTube. If you'd like to keep up to date on all the videos that we'll be producing here in the near future, all you have to do is click the subscribe button just below my picture here, or you can click right over here for a list of the latest videos. Either way, we look forward to seeing you again. Until we do, keep on cruising.